Hey, so what's up, YouTube? This your boy Antoine coming at you with another video, dropping this good content, this good knowledge for you guys. I hope you guys are really taking in this information and using it to help scale your freight dispatch business. I just booked a load for a driver of mine that's going back home for home time. I booked it off the load board. A lot of times I don't use the load board anymore because I have direct shippers. I have connections with brokers that I use, so I don't have to use the load board for each and every load I book. But sometimes I do use the load boards, and you can find decent loads and high paying loads on the load board. But this particular load I booked for my driver to go back to Connecticut because he's having some home time next week. But as you know, Connecticut, it can be a slow place getting out of. So next week I have to be looking for him a load, or I have to use one of my connections with the many brokers that I know to get them a load out of Connecticut. And if you haven't signed up for 30 days free at DAT, make sure you hit the link below this video so you can get your 30 days free and start seeing how some of these loads look, see how the load board works, and so you'll already be prepared when you start your freight dispatch business. I'm about to hop in this vet thing, you know what I'm saying, hit a little speed before another one of these brokers blow my phone up. So when you out there dispatching loads, brokers will blow your phone up. You know what I mean? If you don't email them before they call you, they will blow your phone up. So make sure that you are actually reaching out to the brokers before they're reaching out to you. Let me just take this top off. We're gonna be ready to hit the road, you know what I'm saying? But as I was telling you guys, make sure that you send an email to the broker. So let's say your driver's picking up a load. When your driver picks up that load, when that driver gets that load loaded and secured, make sure you send an email to the broker, letting the broker know that your driver has picked up that load. Because if you don't do that, you're going to be looking for another load, or you're going to be trying to eat lunch, and the broker's going to be calling you, asking you, did the driver pick up the load? And then you got to call the driver, ask the driver if they're there yet or not. If the driver's there, you got to call the broker back and let the broker know that the driver picked up the load. So just make sure that you send the driver send the broker a simple email once that driver has got there to pick up the load, so that broker won't be bothering. You can eat your lunch. Hey, got that top off? Let's get it. Hey, you know everything I got push start. I'm always up to date. Hey, YouTube, I'm about to get some more exhaust on this thing too. I'm thinking about getting some Borla Attack exhaust on this thing. We gotta get this thing fired up. We gotta get this thing sounding like a race car around this thing. You know, get into this. I'm gonna give you guys the 5 biggest mistakes I made when I first started my freight dispatch business, so you guys don't make these same mistakes. So number 1, the biggest mistake I've made since starting my freight dispatch business is not networking with brokers enough. You guys start that business, you're gonna hear all people talking and bashing brokers, carriers, dispatchers, talking about brokers taking all your money. But hey, if that's what they're doing, so what? Find another broker to work with. People just complain about the same thing too long. So when I started my business, I realized a lot of brokers, they're going to try to take all the money. They're going to try to lowball you on the rates. But you got to start networking with brokers that's trying to work with carriers. A lot of brokers out there actually used to be carriers. I know because I trained a lot of them. And they're brokering freight, and they used to be carriers. You know what I'm saying? So they're brokering freight and they used to be carriers, so they understand what carriers need, you know? And I think when a broker was once a carrier, they're going to be, you know, a little bit easier to work with because they understand it, you know what I mean? So make sure you guys are building relationships with brokers. Every broker you book a load for, you should have some type of Excel spreadsheet where you have their name, phone number, company name, and what areas they usually have loads in. You know, for every broker that you run a load with, make sure you do that. Grow those relationships. Number 2 mistake I made was not having a plan to scale my business month to month. What I mean by that, as I told you guys before, there was a point in my business where I had maxed out on owner operators that I was personally dispatching for. And from the get-go, I didn't take time to train and hire dispatchers. So I was just dispatching for these guys. 8 owner operators was okay for me. I was making a bunch of money, but I wasn't scaling my company. I should have knew some of those owner operators were going to drop off at some point. So what I recommend for you to do when you first start your freight dispatching business, have a plan of how many owner operators you want to get into your dispatching company each month. If that's 5 people, 5 owner operators, that's fine. If that's 8, that's fine. If it's 10, it doesn't matter. But you guys definitely need to have a plan, so you have like a goal that you're trying to track and achieve, so you have a goal that you're trying to track and achieve every month. Because I'm telling you, if you don't track the goal, if you just go out there and you running your freight dispatching company and you don't have a certain amount of owner operators that you're going to try to get every month, what's going to happen to you is the same thing that happened to me. Is I'm not going to like keep on that. I'm not going to try to keep recruiting drivers. I'm going to forget about it, because you're going to get happy with the amount of money and the amount of customers or clients you have at the time. So always make it a goal. Just go ahead when you first start the company, write down a goal, how many owner operators you want to get a month, and do everything you can do to get those owner operators. So if that means marketing on Facebook, that's fine. If that means going out to truck stops, go to vistaprint.com. I include the link below this video. Just go to vistaprint.com. I'll include the link below this video. Just go to vistaprint.com and order some business cards and some flyers and pass those out at truck stops. So that's number 2 tip. Have a set goal of new owner operators that you want to bring into your dispatch company each and every month. Before we get into the 3rd tip, I have a free offer for you guys. So to really scale your company, I always tell you guys, you have to learn to be consultants. Consultants is the name of the game. To set yourself apart from the next dispatch service, you have to learn to be a consultant. Fuel is such a major issue. If you're really consulting your drivers, you should be able to tell them what truck stops have the cheapest fuel, so they know before they get there, so they know where they need to fill up at. I'm telling you, because if you get cheaper fuel over time is going to save the owner operator you're dispatching for a great deal of money. And this is not something that a lot of dispatch companies are doing. So here coming up soon, I'm going to have a webinar. I'm going to tell you guys how to look on the map, find truck stops that have cheap fuel, so you can let your truck drivers know before they get there. You can let them know where to fuel up and where the cheap fuel is going to be. And you guys are going to be the only ones that know where this cheap fuel is. So here pretty soon, next week, I'm going to have a webinar. I don't know the exact date yet. I am going on vacation here soon to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I'm going to be showing you guys plenty of content, letting you guys see how it is dispatching from the mountains. So I'm going to have that webinar sometime within the next week or 2. I'm going to send it out through my email list. So if you haven't yet signed up for my email list, make sure you click the link below this video to sign up for that list. So the number 3 mistake that I made when I started my business was not having a TMS system, a system to track my trucks. You need to be able to track each and every truck you're dispatching for, especially when you get up into numbers, hiring dispatchers to work for you. Say you have 15 trucks that you're dispatching for within your dispatching service, along with your assistants, your dispatchers that you hire. 15 trucks is a lot of trucks to track. So in the beginning, I wasn't using a TMS system. I was just writing it all down on paper, tracking the trucks. And I did make several mistakes from using just a pen and paper system to track my trucks. There were times where I sent the wrong truck to the wrong load. I had drivers deadhead over 200 miles to the wrong load. And in those cases, what I did as a dispatch service was just give them the money for fuel and time wasted, you know? But you guys shouldn't have to go through that if you start off with a good TMS system, and I'll be teaching you all about that in the different freight dispatching trainings that I offer. With a great TMS system, you can track the trucks. You won't need to send those emails to the brokers to let them know when the driver arrived, because when the driver gets there, they'll swipe their screen saying they arrived, and when they arrive at that shipper, you will get an email, and so with a broker. When they leave, same thing. They'll swipe their screen on the TMS app, saying that they left the shipper. You will get an email. The broker will get an email saying when they arrive to the receiver and when they leave the receiver. So make sure you guys go with a good TMS system. The one that I recommend is Transflow Mobile Plus. Fourth and final mistake that I made, and that mistake is waiting too long before I started my YouTube channel. You got to get on YouTube. YouTube has brought me a lot of value, not only with freight dispatching, but now that I'm on YouTube, I can network with other people in different industries that's looking to get into the freight dispatch business. For example, next week I'm going to be going to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. On the way there and the way back, I'm going to be stopping in Atlanta. So if you do live in Atlanta, I know I have a lot of students that live in Atlanta, or if you're not a student of mine and you live in Atlanta, I'm looking to network with you. Maybe we can meet up. I know we got social distancing. I probably got a mask somewhere around here, so I will have on my mask, and I hope you do too. But for example, I'm getting into real estate. I'm getting more and more into real estate. I have a lot of students that's from Atlanta that are real estate brokers, there's real estate agents, and I met them through YouTube. So I suggest you guys get on YouTube when you start a business. It don't matter what business, if it's a freight dispatch business or whatever type of business it is. Once you get on YouTube, and you just got to start throwing yourself out. I know some people aren't comfortable with social media, Facebook, YouTube, or whatever it may be, but guys, hey, you just got to throw yourself out there these days, because this is how you're going to network the most, the quickest, and to make money, to become successful. You got to network. You got to talk to more people. So if you guys need anything, make sure you go to my website, high-speedlogistics.com. Don't forget to click the link below this video to get 30 days free of DAT, to sign up with Tavs, or to become an affiliate marketer with Tavs. Hit that link at the bottom of this video. Also, it's a link down there at the bottom of this video to sign up for my email list. Like I said, next week, I'm going to be doing a free webinar. The only way you're going to get access to that webinar is by signing up for that email list, because that's where I'm going to send out all the details, all the emails about the webinar I'm having next week. And during that webinar, I'm going to be partnering with my business partner, Matt, from Taz, and we're going to teach you how you can consult your owner operators and get them cheaper fuel than any other dispatcher. So if you guys need anything, go to my website, high-speedlogistics.com.